From the CBW Radio UK studios in Chelmsford, this is Off the Record with Big C and his trusty companion, Stinky Pete.
My trusty companions, Stinky Pete and Jazzy Jeff, are with me for Off the Record, episode 26, season 6. So we're on number 166 overall, just 4 away from hopefully season 7, fingers crossed. So that's exciting, isn't it? Stinky Pete, hello there. You can wave to me. I don't know whether you can wave to me. I'm watching on Facebook. We're live streaming to Facebook and Off the Record Facebook page. Also streaming live to Twitter or X, and also live to the Real CBW Productions YouTube channel. Hello, Jazzy Jeff. You too can wave.
Good evening, sir. Both.
Good evening. How are you both?
Peter.
I'm a Spurs fan. I've been basically delirious since last Wednesday.
This is the first Off the Record as European champions, actually.
It is.
Can we take a moment to dwell on this?
I think we should.
Apart from the fact that we got beaten 4-1 3 days later.
Yeah,
yes, but there was mitigating circumstances.
Yes,
the
mitigating circumstances that ostensibly were shit.
No, mitigating circumstances. They were all really, really, really pissed because I was. Yes. They were. I think it was the greatest piece of shithousing ever by Ange, because what he should have done was play the under-18s, but he went, no, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to play a bunch of people who were drinking wine out of cannulas 3 days previously. I went on Friday to the thing. It was to the parade. It was absolute bedlam, and they were absolutely shit-faced. It was fantastic. So I was expecting them to lose by 8 or 9 when I saw the team. So the fact that they only lost 4-1 was a miracle. It was brilliant. What a night out that was. Superb.
Almost on a par with the Wednesday night, I'm sure, as fans went over there, wasn't it? I mean, it was just absolutely incredible. I don't think people, maybe they do, I don't know. I don't think fans really yet fully appreciated it, really, in a way. It's the end of it's almost like the end of an era, the start of a new era, isn't it? We've been so close. We've been so unlucky. Times. I mean, the fine margins, haven't they? They've been. I mean, the stupid Champions League final when the referee gave a penalty in the first minute, ridiculously, which now wouldn't be given.
Isn't that the only final which we've lost by more than one goal? I think we've just we've lost 1-0. It's so
that I can't remember. Got to the last 5 minutes against City, I think, the League Cup, didn't we? No, yeah. I mean, it's just that there are fine margins with these things, and I personally, I said this on Twitter, and I think I posted it on Facebook as well, that we do owe Levy an enormous amount of gratitude for sticking by Ange last season. Yeah. I mean, what he does now is another thing, but I haven't really understood why he's still in the job over the last 6 months, because our league form has been absolutely pants. But it's clear to me, given that is normally Levy's MO, to get rid of people when things are going really badly, that there must have been some sort of dialogue between the two. And Ange just said to him, look, the league, we ain't doing anything in the league. My sole concern is winning a trophy. After 17 years, Levy's desperate for a trophy in his tenure. He hasn't had one for so long that the league has been put aside. And the amount of injuries, I don't think I know this isn't music, this is football, but who cares? It's our podcast. The amount of injuries we've had this season, I know people go on about injuries all the time, but I've never known in all my years such a bad run of not just injuries, but in critical injuries at critical times.
Do you know how many games our first team squad have missed this season?
No.
280 something.
Well, that's not bad, is it?
Well, that's just why we are where we are. I'm 100% certain that, and they've pretty well said so. Madison said so in one of his interviews. I'm pretty well certain that Ange said, we ain't going to win anything except the Europa. Everything we're going to do is concentrate on winning the Europa, and we will win. And they did. And now, who cares? If you'd have said to every single Spurs fan at the start of the season, you finish somewhere around between 17th and 12th, but you win a trophy, they take your hands off. Wyatt and I had that conversation way back in August. He said, I don't care what we do in the league because we're not going to win it. I want a trophy. And we did.
No, absolutely right. So it's a real tough decision for the chairman, though, isn't it?
It's a difficult one now. It is.
It's a very difficult one because Ange has brought the trophy after this length of time, and the players love him.
Well, that's the other difficult decision, because I think if he gets fired, we lose Romero, we lose quite a few players.
I think we lose Romero anyway.
I don't think we are. If you look at all of his social media stuff, he said, "I love this club, I love these fans, I love playing for the manager." So it'll be interesting to see.
I think he'll give him till Christmas.
Well, I hope he does.
He won't get rid of him straight away, to be honest. I think he will give him a chance.
And we can't now give it to Ryan Mason temporarily because he's going to West Brom as head coach.
That's true.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
He might
yes,
be.
I had a message from Kizzy today saying Theo would like to know. That's her boyfriend. Theo would like to know all about Ryan Mason. I said, this is because he's going there as coach. And she went, yeah, he needs to know. So I gave him a good review. I said, yeah, you'll be all right.
So let's see what develops over the summer.
Indeed.
I was interested to see. Sam was telling me what United went flying off to. Where did they fly to?
They lost last night.
Yeah,
They
lost in Malaysia, and then they had an open top bus parade.
Yeah, and got booed off the pitch.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It couldn't happen to a nicer team.
Yeah, and such a tragic event at Liverpool's parade as well. It was ridiculous.
I mean, don't stop.
There's
anyway,
nothing you can say
let's
about that
not
sort of
talk
thing.
about football now. Let's not talk about. Although we don't mind talking about football for once.
We quite like talking about football.
Once this
We are
entire
European
season.
champions.
Yes.
European champions. Only the third manager for the Spurs that's won. I think I'm right in saying ever, isn't it? That's won a European champion. Is it the fourth? Who? Bill Nick,
Birkinshaw, Paulo Ramos, and
European
trophy. Yeah, European trophy.
Not with us, he didn't.
Ramos didn't really not with us.
Yes, he did. He won the blooming champ. He won the Carling Cup.
The Mickey Mouse Cup.
That's not a European one.
That's not a European trophy.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Wake up.
Yeah. No, so I'm asleep. Yes, ignore me. Yes.
All right. We usually do, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, that's true. I've noticed this.
No change there. Right. Okay. What are we discussing this week, chaps? Well, I'll tell you what we're discussing. And there were just billions of these that we could have picked for this one. I've done a radio show in the past, I think, with this particular theme on CBW Radio in the mornings, but we haven't done a podcast. And we're talking songs with girls' names in the title. A girl's name in the title of the song. So this could be, you tell me. I mean, it could be a single, it could be an album track, it could be obscure. I mean, it doesn't have to be the obvious ones. Something personal. I personally have gone for maybe some obvious ones, but some I haven't gone for. I've gone for some that were more significant over the years for me, or some personal memory that I had of the songs. So some I may have left out of maybe what you might think are obvious ones.
I very deliberately didn't go for my favourite ones because we'd have been talking Paul Simon and Donna Fagan again and whatever. And we've done all that before. So I've picked 10 songs, all of which I like, all different sorts, and I very deliberately haven't gone for anything from the jazz side either, because naming jazz songs is pointless because they're just someone's idea they put a name to. It's like Rick Wakeman saying, I'm going to write 6 pieces of music and call it 6 Wives. You know? Like they're just, so I've just gone for
well, that's 6 women's, that's 6 girls' names for a start. Why didn't I choose them?
Because you're not thinking, because you're asleep.
And there are a lot of Catherines in those 6 as well, though, aren't there?
There's a lot of Catherines.
But that's not really 6.
enough for a wheel.
So that's what I've done. Just picked up 10 songs that I like that are all a bit different.
Yeah, you said that you've gone for maybe more obscure ones. So what about you then, Stinks? Have you gone? I know you would have gone for no doubt ones that you own.
I own nearly all of them. No, I don't. I own a significant percentage of them. I've only managed to get 39. So
I had about 150 at one point. So
so I didn't bother cutting down to 10. I'm just going to go to this with a scattergun approach and then see where we get to. But what I have done is I've chosen bands that have produced a number of songs which are girls' names. So I'm going to go with the band and then chuck out the girls' names off the back of the band.
All right. Okay. Everyone's gone
not for all of them, but
route then.
Yeah.
I still own all 10 that I've picked. And I've got a whole bunch of others, but like they'll come up or they won't because
no doubt
there's thousands, like thousands and thousands and thousands.
I'm thinking that ones that you mention or you or Stinks mentioned, I might think, oh yeah, I could have had that one. I mean, there's just so many of them. Right, it will be interesting to see then what we've all chosen in that case. Right, who's going to start then? Shall we go alphabetically or?
Yeah, go on then.
I mean, that doesn't work, does it? Because there's two Willises and a Wright.
Well, we could do first names. I think.
Yeah, go on then.
B for Big C.
Go for Guff
B for Big C. Oh, right. Okay. All right. This band have probably, like Stinks has said, probably had a few with girls' names. In fact, I can think of two. One obvious one I could well have gone for is Lola.
But he was a boy.
This is what I was about to say. Was he actually a girl?
No.
Yeah, but it is a girl's name.
It's a girl's
name.
It
is a girl's name. We're not doing songs about girls necessarily. We're doing about the name. So if I wanted to pick Lola, I would have done. But it's such a good song and great story of him having to fly back. I don't know. Was it like a 6,000-7,000 mile round trip on weekend, which cost I don't know what, just to change one word of the song because the BBC wouldn't play it with Coca-Cola in it. So he had to change it to Cherry Cola. Just seems a bit extravagant to me. No, I've gone.
We pay our license money for this crap. I'd like to point this out.
I know. It's tragic, really, isn't it? Well, I've gone for a Kinks song, and it was on the 1969 album Arthur, or The Decline and Fall of the British Empire. And it was a single, and it even made the US chart, I believe, number 62. I haven't got the UK, but who cares? Who cares? This song, you can maybe guess the song. I don't know. It's like a lot of Ray Davies songs, satirical, nostalgic, and it is, I don't know, singing about life in Britain during the 19th century under the then monarch, if that's I'm pointing towards. I mean, I'm going to give you some lyrics because I know you love me giving you some lyrics.
That's my favourite thing.
Sex was bad, called obscene, and the rich were so mean. From the west to the east, so that was like what it was like in those eras, with the sort of I've written here paternalist aspirations of the British Empire in this age. From the west to the east, from the rich to the poor. Shall I give you the song title?
Is it about Victoria?
Victoria loved them all, yeah. And expressing simple adulation of Queen and country by the downtrodden working class. It was, I was born, lucky me, in a land that I love. Though I am poor, I am free. When I grow, I shall fight. For this land, I shall die. Stately homes for the lords, croquet lawns, village greens. Victoria was my queen. So it's a great rocking tune as well. So I just love it. So I'm going to go for the Kinks and Victoria. Lola, I can definitely think of another Kinks song, but I'm trying to think of others. There probably are, but I can't think off the top of my head.
There'll be stacks of them.
I would have thought
there'll be stacks of all of these. There'll just be more and more and more.
Possibly, but I don't know whether a lot of them like. Obviously, I might look at the Beatles. I might look at Elvis or whatever, but they didn't do that many songs with girls' names in. Maybe they didn't want to be, to think that they're singing about one particular person, like all the Julies or whatever it might have been. But anyway,
I like a good Julie.
Come across it. Yeah, I'm sure.
You're biased.
So that was Big C. So Big Jeff now.
Okay, I'm going to give you. This is the first one that came into my head when you said what it was going to be about. So I thought, okay, this is very much not my gig, particularly. Although I do like the song and I do own it. I own all of these songs. Yep. So I'll give you a line as well, which is pure genius in my opinion. If I was in your blood, then you wouldn't be so ugly.
Nice.
1982, number 2 song in the UK hit parade.
Well, for a start, I'm particularly perturbed that it's not If I Were in Your Blood.
It's not. It's If I Was in Your Blood. They are American.
I wouldn't have that in. I wouldn't have that.
That's a matter of principle because the grammar's crap.
Yes, definitely is.
It's a sort of disco-y, big band, Hispanic, Latin American type of thing.
No, I'm not
third single off the album.
No,
you're going to kick yourself, Colin, because you know this.
Oh, hold on. No, it's not. It's not something like. No, it's too early. Something like Toto, maybe. Roseanne.
Oh, hang on. It's not. It's not. Her name was Lola. She was a showgirl.
No, because that's called Coco Cabana.
I have no idea.
And that would be Baz and Manilow. No, it is Annie. I'm Not Your Daddy.
Oh, by Kid Creole and the Coconuts.
Kid Creole and the Coconuts.
That is an odd choice.
If I was in your blood, then you wouldn't be so ugly. It's just like, how can you put that into a song?
Well, he did.
He did.
Sorry, did you just really say that was the first song that came into your head?
Well, I was thinking it's an odd thing. The first one to come into your head.
Yep. So I wrote it down and I offer it to you both.
Yes,
it's a great song. It's like
it's quite a catchy tune. It must be said.
It's a little dancey sort of. Yeah, I like it.
Probably not up Stinky Pete Strasser.
I would think his Strasser will walk the other way very quickly.
Yes, it's a one-way. It's a one-way Strasser with barricades.
The Tropical Gangsters album is not awful. I mean,
I must admit, I'm not familiar with the album. As you know, I'm a singles man.
Well, I am. I don't own the album, but it's not bad. Stool Pigeon was a great song.
I was going to say,
Stool Pigeon was all right.
Stool Pigeon was all right. Yeah, Stool Pigeon. Annie, I'm Not Your Daddy. Well, that's a turn up for the books.
There we go.
I like the variety. I like the variety.
It can only get worse.
As Stinks might say, is that possible? I'm sure it is.
Oh, it very much so. Extraordinarily much so.
Has Kate done a song title with a girl's name in?
I'm sure she has. Yeah, Babushka.
Oh, okay. That's a good song. I like Babushka. You not like it then? You like it, Jeff?
What's that?
Babushka.
I like Kate Bush. I think she's actually really good at what she does.
Yeah,
she is really good at what she does. She's just terrible. Anyway,
go on then. Go on, Stinks. Tell us. Okay. Tell us what your first thought was.
Well, my first thought actually was one of these, but it's not one I'm choosing. So, this is a band. 1970 album. 1972 album. 1973 album and 1977 album all had girls' songs on those albums. Okay. The one I've chosen is a song that is dedicated to the girlfriend of Boz Scaggs, with whom the lead guitarist was having an affair at the time in 1970.
Allegedly. We got the CBW lawyers onto us otherwise.
And the guitarist was one of two lead guitarists, so dueling guitars. And the other song from the 1973 album was the first one that came into my head when we decided this title.
I'm going to plump here. I'm going to plump for the Allman Brothers Band.
Yes.
And Melissa.
No.
Elizabeth.
Melissa. Go on.
In memory of Elizabeth Reed.
In memory of Elizabeth Reed. Yeah, so Elizabeth.
Oh, okay.
So In Memory of Elizabeth Reed was off Idlewild South. Then Melissa was on Eat a Peach. Jessica, which was the one I immediately came to mind, was off Brothers and Sisters in 1973. And then the wild card at the end is Louisiana Lou, brackets and 3-card Monty John, off Win, Lose or Draw. So Elizabeth.
So I have a problem with this.
What's that?
I really like the song Melissa. I think it's a great song.
We're going to come to this
Colin,
later.
You probably don't know this. My ex-wife's name is Melissa.
Was Elizabeth Reed.
So walking around the house singing "My Sweet Melissa" is not always the best thing to do. I have discovered.
Yes.
Over the years.
Yes. We will come back to this theme later.
Oh dear! What, my ex-wife? I've only got one.
You should start singing Shakin' Stevens' "Oh Julie" or something, shouldn't you? Isn't that
definitely, yeah.
Or
although we're not allowed to sing "Julie, Julie, Julie, do you love me?" because she hates the song.
Right,
that's out.
What about Julie Ocean, The Undertones? That was another Julie.
Don't know it. Aren't they the band from Northern Ireland?
That's the yes. As Stinks might tell us. Along with the Boomtown Rats? No. I actually had in my long list. I did have Jessica down. That was a song. I chose it. It's not in my ultimate list, I don't think. I'm trying to find. I've got so many bits of paper with songs with girls' names in. It was featured on. Yeah, here it is. Brothers and Sisters, 1973. What's his name? Dickie Betts song, wasn't it?
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Boz Scaggs connection.
And a tribute to the gypsy jazz guitarist Django Reinhardt.
Genius. Absolute genius.
Designed to be played using only 2 fingers on the left hand.
It's astonishing what you can do with 2 fingers.
I remember it. I remember it.
Behave now. Do not go down this route, or I should be forced to mention Jimmy Savile. Oh, damn, I did.
Damn, you just did. Yes, I was going to say it was. The way when I remember Jessica by the Allman Brothers Band was. Was it Allman Brothers Band at that point? It was, wasn't it? Not just the Allman Brothers. I remember it as the Allman.
Wasn't their first hit after Dwayne died?
Could have been. I remember it as being the theme tune to Charlie Gillett's radio show on, I don't know which radio station. Would it have been Radio 1, I assume? I don't know.
It was the theme tune to Top Gear, so, you know.
Oh, right, yeah, that's true. It was, but I never watched Top Gear. I'm a bloke. I should like cars, but I don't do cars. I can drive them. I get.
That's good because you were a driving instructor, so it does help.
That's helpful. That is helpful. But yeah, Victoria Kinks. I've had the first one. Shall I try for another one then?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Since I mentioned them briefly earlier on, I'm not sure how many there were. I've chosen a couple by the Beatles.
Shall I tell you which ones I've written down for you?
Thing is, I don't count Madonna.
No,
that shouldn't really be one. Well, it could be, I suppose. You could be called anything, I suppose, these days. Oh, you tell me what you think I've gone for.
I wrote Michelle, Lovely Rita, and Dear Prudence.
I've got one of those three.
Well, there we
Eleanor Rigby.
Oh, see, I could have had Eleanor Rigby. Yeah, that's a superb shout.
Which one did you have, mate?
Oh, no, I went Michelle.
Oh, okay. Mabel.
Mabel, yeah.
These are words that go together well.
Yeah.
Michelle.
Sont des mots qui vont très bien
ensemble.
Yeah. Does it stand? But yeah, I just think it was a hit. It was a hit and number one for the. Do you remember who by? Not the Beatles. It wasn't released as a single. Well, it might have been in the States. It's actually released twice. Once by David and Jonathan, and the number one was by the Overlanders. It must have been the very beginning of '66.
It's a good song.
Yeah, a Grammy Award in '67 for Song of the Year. I think After Yesterday is probably one of the, if not the most recorded other Beatles songs recorded by other artists. And we're talking about the style of Django Reinhardt for the Allman Brothers. This was, Paul McCartney claims, was done in the style of guitar fingerpicking style of Chet Atkins.
We love Chet Atkins. The Neck to Neck album with the guy that taught Pete from Dire Straits. No, not Fly. He's
Mark
just
K.
superb. It's a great album.
Or Mark N, as they might be called on Twitter.
No.
Yeah, I went for Michelle. I wouldn't go for Dear Prudence, probably. That's more Lennon anyway, and I'm definitely more McCartney. Lovely Rita, I realise, is McCartney. If I haven't had any of those other ones, it would have been the one that Stinks mentioned, Eleanor Rigby, because I think lyrically,
that's a beautiful song. It's one of my favourite. It's one of my favourite Beatles songs.
Leaving a face by the jar, in a jar by the door. The Lonely Spinster. Such a good song. The other one I did contemplate was a Lennon song. It was Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
I didn't think about that at all.
No, I didn't either. Well, I
didn't even think of Eleanor Rigby.
Well, I deliberately avoided the Beatles because I knew he'd choose them. So
yeah.
Yeah, well, I haven't chosen many. I can't think of many others that they may well. Martha, My Dear, has just come to my head actually from the White Album, but yeah,
there'll be a few.
That many. They didn't do many songs with girls' names in the title. Julia. I've thought of another one there. John Lennon's mum, Julia. The only Beatles song with only John Lennon on. Yeah, so that's me Beatles number, Michelle. Over to Big Jeff.
Okay. Big G. You might have this, Colin, because I've heard you play this a few times. It's a great song, 1971. I don't think it was ever released as a single. It might have been. Can't remember now. The album got to number 11, I think, in the charts. Although I guess it might have been the single that got to number 11. I don't remember, to be perfectly honest. Fantastic little slide guitar right at the beginning, and a constant all the way through it. Just before you get to the solo, there's this little piano rundown that the two of them do together as a little dug down to it. Two incredibly famous people working together on an album called Together, and this was the main track off it.
Two incredibly famous people, just vocalists.
Well, incredibly. They're two famous people.
Sonny and Cher.
No. English.
English
pianists.
English pianists. In 71, this was.
In 71.
Ooh.
Mrs. Mills.
Elton John and Mrs. Mills.
Yeah, we just
not Elton John and Mrs. Mills.
We literally just said the same. Unbelievable.
Okay. It's Georgie Fame and Alan Price.
Oh, cool. Rosetta.
Yeah,
good song.
Brilliant song. Absolutely brilliant song. Do you know the album at all? The album is superb.
No.
It is a magnificent album.
They work well together, a couple of Geordies.
They did. Yeah, it's just a good song. It's lyrically a good song. It's musically a good song, and it's sparky. It's like, it gets you
voice
going.
went really high then.
Well, that's why I did it.
Oh, right.
But that's a bit strange, isn't it?
I thought you shifted uncomfortably on your chair and got stuck.
I do. I can't sit still.
I've noticed this.
I can't. It drives me nuts.
You're thinking of Kid Creole and the coconuts again, aren't you? That's what
my coconuts are all over the place at the minute. Yeah, Rosetta. I recommend it if you don't know it.
I'm not your daddy. I know it.
I don't.
know it. You don't know that one?
No.
You know you can request it on the radio show, and I'll be there with it. As you say, I think I must have played it. I definitely have.
Well, you have played it. I've heard it. So
yeah. Okay. Right. Oh, I love the Jarrow song by Alan Price. I played that.
Well, you played it yesterday.
I absolutely love that. That's brilliant.
It's such a good song, isn't it?
It is.
A good song. Yeah.
And Georgie Fame had a number one. I think Alan Price had a number one, didn't he? But Georgie Fame had the Ballad of Bonnie and Clyde, didn't
Bonnie
he?
and Clyde was. Well, I went to Bonnie and Clyde's house when we drove Route 66.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, it's just
were they in?
Oddly, I knocked on the door and just got completely. No, never mind. It's just some bloke's house in the middle of the street, and it's got like a blue plaque, but they don't have blue plaques. So it's actually really quite disappointing. But I guess the guy who lives there is probably fed up with everybody driving past.
He's fed up with people now.
Yeah.
Oh well, interesting. Right, go on then, Stinks. What next band have you got?
So this time I'm going with a band. This is a threefer. One song from 1971 off what is effectively their breakout album, but two songs off 1973, which is probably their most successful album, one of which spawned a very successful top 5 single.
In 73?
Yes.
Okay.
And all three of them are instrumental.
I think this was actually, I think, if I'm right, I might not be right. This is probably one of the first I wrote down.
It will have
but
been.
I thought you were going to choose this one.
Me too.
And I did choose it. Have you got it?
I'm pretty certain I've got it.
Sylvia.
Yes, Sylvia.
By Focus. Love it.
I love it. But on Moving Waves, there is a beautiful song piece called Janice. And the other girls one on Focus 3 is the one that your lovely wife, Sarah, said to you, I really like that when I requested it. And that is Elspeth of Nottingham. Which is a lute piece.
Elspeth's a lovely name.
Yeah.
Elspeth is lovely. We used to know a little girl called Elspeth. She was an absolute sweetheart. So, yes, it isn't.
Did she have a lisp? Because that would be really difficult then, wouldn't it?
No. Anyway, so yeah, three focuses: Elspeth of Nottingham, Janice, and Sylvia.
What do you think? There must have been the changing tack again here, but we're talking about lisp. How awful it would have been for cricket commentators, if you know your cricket.
Yeah.
When the two openers were Andrew Strauss and Marcus Trescothick. It's not a good one, is it, when you got a lisp?
No, it wouldn't be.
They were the two openers, weren't they? I think for
they
were. Yeah. Absolutely.
That wouldn't have been good at all.
No.
All right.
I don't remember Janice at all. Are you sure that's on Moving Waves?
No, it's on Moving Waves. It is the third track on Moving Waves on the first side.
It's not as probably as dated as Elspeth, maybe, but Janice seems to be quite an old-fashioned name as well. Do you get many Janices now?
No, not really. No, it's a name that's faded into the background.
Yes.
All right, with Gary and Nigel.
So we're going on to. I've done the Beatles. So what's the other band?
Stones.
ELO.
No. It's me you're talking about.
Clash. Billy Joel. I don't know.
No. All right. From South London. Quo,
Yes, of course.
Status Quo, yeah, Status Quo. Now,
why didn't I choose this for in the name of all Tony? I cannot believe I didn't do this. What a moron!
But I tell you what, I'm not sure I have chosen it. I obviously Caroline is the one you're referring to, yeah.
Yeah, the great. They're
Such a great riff, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, that came out as a single. It was the only single from the Hello album. Now, Hello was an album, as I've said many a time before, was the first rock album that I ever bought. Me and Alan, my brother, bought Big Al and Big C
Big Al.
in Chew and Osborne. Filed rather amusingly still. It's still amusing.
He's a client of mine.
Under prog rock, it was fun. As people have many times said, ironic given they hadn't changed in years to call them progressive.
The least progressive. It should have been under unprogressive rock.
So yeah, but in those days at Chew and Osborne in Epping High Street, it's not there anymore. I think it's gone.
No, it's not.
Years
gone.
Yeah.
He hasn't. So he's still alive. Lives still in North Wales.
Is that Mr. Osborne or Mr. Chew?
Mr. Chew.
Mr. Chew, bless you. You can go to the front of where you bought your albums, and there was a turntable, and I presume there were like headphones and stuff when we listened to it. Listen to the Hello album, and the first, and Caroline is on that album, and obviously I love that single. But the reason I bought that very first rock album was this next track that I have chosen for Quo. I listened to the album, and the first track on the album was Roll Over Lay Down, which is quite heavy. And I'd heard this other track that's the second track on the album on another radio DJ plug, Stuart Henry. Do you remember Stuart Henry?
Yeah.
Oh, Stuart Henry. I think he passed away. He died quite young, didn't he? I think. But he played this, and I loved it. And this is the Quo that got me. The Quo song that got me that album. It's still a bit 12-bar bluesish, but there's a country element to it as well. And the song, written by Francis Rossi, whose birthday is tomorrow, by the way, so I'll definitely be playing this. Claudie. And you might not be aware of the song. They didn't really do it. They did it live a little while, but it's not on the live album from '77, not Frantic 4 stuff. But they did do it live. It was part of the set for a little while. But then again, there were probably a few from that album, like Blue Eyed Lady, which. But yeah, it's I don't know. I just love it. I love that sort of. I love rock and roll and the boogie and the shuffle that the Quo have, but with just that little bit of country to it, just leads me to think that's what I really love. I love the countryside to the rock, and this exemplifies it perfectly. But Caroline is on there, and you can't avoid Caroline. That was their. Well, it was when I started going to see them live, probably in the mid-70s. It was in the Encore. Caroline, and started the Encore. It just led into Bye Bye Johnny at the very end of the Encore. But then it became the opener for the band. And Maurice, did they open with Caroline? I think they did, didn't they? Stinks when we were.
No, it was always used to be their Encore song.
It was an Encore, and maybe they opened with Whatever You Want for a little while. Big Al would be the person to ask. You'd know that. But anyway, I've gone for a quote, obviously, from '73, Claudie. My choice. Shock.
Excellent. Just to bring us vaguely up to date.
Go on then.
When I say up to date, we're talking like within the last 20 years,
Oh yeah.
Okay. Originally released by the Zootons.
Oh, this was on my list as well. Love this.
I love this. But which version? I love the Mark Ronson version.
Oh no, I don't. You see,
which has Amy just singing on it.
Amy Winehouse
singing it.
Yeah.
As opposed to the Amy Winehouse version, which doesn't have Mark Ronson on it.
Right. Okay.
And Ronson's bass line is just it's the main part of the song. You hear the bass line more than anything else. and it's just there, and it just drives the whole thing along, and it's really sweet. But it's a great. I mean, both versions are superb.
What's
so
the
this
song
is
called?
Valerie, Pete, in case
Valerie.
you don't know.
Right, no, never heard of it.
See, I like most times actually prefer the original. I prefer the Zootons version of it on their debut album, was it? Tired of Hanging Around, I think it was. There's some great albums that came out in the noughties, actually, it has to be said. Shame about the 2010s, I would say. But yeah, Valerie, I'd say I would prefer the Zootons version, but it's a great song.
It's a great. So I will probably request this with the Mark Ronson version for tomorrow, or whatever, just because the bass line is so sweet, like so sweet. And I love Amy Winehouse. I think she's a genius. A very, very sad loss, in my opinion.
Apparently, Valerie was written down here. It was about an unnamed at the time American friend of the singer Dave McCabe of the Zootons. I know it wasn't the Zootons you chose, who had been arrested on a DUI.
Right.
But subsequently, it's turned out to be the celebrity makeup artist Valerie Starr, about whom the song was.
Related to Ringo?
Well, sorry?
Related to Ringo?
Probably not. I don't think. No. You might be. No, there's only one R in it, so obviously it can't be.
Yeah,
no, it's related to that very, very famous Russian woman, Katya Falling.
Hey, very good.
He's on fire.
He is. I tell you, he's woken up.
He has woken up.
So yeah, Mark Ronson, Amy Winehouse.
It was a popular song, the Zootons version even. I mean, number 9 it was in the UK. I'm not sure where Amy Winehouse's one's got. Even
number 2.
Number 2 with Mark Ronson.
Yeah.
Okay. Gold single it was, the Zootons, and it was 400,000 copies sold. So okay, Valerie, Mark Ronson. Which one do you say you prefer, the Mark Ronson one or the Amy one?
Well, Mark Ronson's got Amy Winehouse singing on it. It's just got a more prominent bass line. So
okay.
They're very similar.
I have to make sure I play the right one for you, though. That's it, if you're around. I've just got a few messages on the... Simon's given us a message. Simon. Do you know a Simon, Mr. Messrs. Willis?
Are we talking about Simon, one of my army of children?
Number...
I don't know. Number
5.
6. No, child 6. Child 6.
Right, okay, well...
6.
Thank you. Child 6. No. Boy.
Simon says, hello, love the podcast. I'm currently working on my second 15-hour shift, and I just wanted to chime in to say that I love what you boys do, and that Metallica are the worst metal band in existence. And are colossally overrated. Keep on keeping on. So, not relevant, but amusing.
No, but he hates Metallica.
And he's on point. He's on point.
That sounds very much like Simon. Not relevant, but amusing. I don't mean that. He's lovely.
No, I'm sure he is. And talking of lovely, Stinky Pete, what have you got for us next?
Okay, so this is another band, totally different type of band. One album, 1967/8. 2 women's names, 2 songs, massive singles. One of them is named after the crush as an 11-year-old. She was not 11. I'd just like to point that out. We do not want to go down that route. So as an 11-year-old, a crush on an Italian girl by one of the writers of the song.
And the song was 67, you say?
There's 2 songs, 67, 68, both off the same album. By far the biggest album of the band in question. And to give you the easiest clue in the world...
Was it a double?
Eh?
Was it a double album?
Don't ask me.
Oh, it's not that one then. You'd know.
I don't know. Okay, so we've talked about this band before. And actually we've talked about these songwriters before. In my opinion, and therefore right, the greatest close harmony black band ever in all of history.
Ah, right, okay.
So
Gotcha.
we're
talking either Bernadette,
which is the song about the Italian girl,
or another Four Tops song,
which is Walk Away Renee.
Of course, Renee.
So Renee and Bernadette.
Oh, Renee.
Written by Lamont Dozier.
And Hollands, no?
Well, yes, Hollands and Lamont Dozier, but it's Lamont Dozier is the one who the Bernadette thing is linked to, because that was the girl he had the crush on.
Okay.
But I mean, those two songs, I mean, they were two of the ones that leapt into my mind when you said, right, let's do this topic. I absolutely love Walk Away Renee. Bernadette is pretty well as close to Walk Away Renee, and they are just brilliant. They are peerless at what they do.
I was going to say, out of the two songs, I think I'd prefer Walk Away Renee than I would Bernadette.
Prefer Walk Away Renee, which is why I haven't chosen one. I've just, the story is about Bernadette, but Walk Away Renee is my favourite of all of the Four Top songs. I'm
not sure they did the original version of it.
They didn't. No, it's a cover.
Who was the guy? There was another.
I did write it down, but I've lost a bit of paper I wrote it on.
Town band, wasn't it?
But no, the Walk Away Renee was a cover, but it was but their version is the one that everybody knows, and as they're just brilliant at what they do. So
it was over here certainly. Maybe in the States it would be. Oh, that's annoying, because I'm going to look that up, because it's going to annoy me if I don't know what that is. Oh, the Left Bank. That's what it was.
That's right, the Left Bank. Yes, that's right. Yeah, Left Bank.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Four Tops. A twofer. A twofer. Four Tops.
Or a fourfer. Even. There'll be a fourfer coming up, I'm sure. There'll be a band. Surely there's a Yes one in there somewhere.
I've avoided nearly everything proggy except for Focus.
And that's not really proggy, is it, Sylvia? It's quite poppy. No. Right. What am I going to go for? I'll tell you what I'm going to go for. This is a song. Came out in 1968. They had a bundle of hits, particularly in the States. I think they had 3 over here. Their biggest one wasn't the biggest hit in the States. They had a #1 hit in 67, which I haven't chosen because it didn't have a girl's name in it. Their next big hit over here was, it's written by supposedly by all 5 members of the band, though Howard Kaylan, who's the lead singer, is the main songwriter. It got to #7 here, 6 in the US, and it was written as a satire of their most popular and biggest pop hit, Happy Together, which had came out the previous year. It's a great song, isn't it? But the band members wanted to, you'd like this in a band member. The band members wanted to diversify a little bit their musical output. So in parallel with more innovative bands probably of the time, to be honest. And they wanted to write their own material. The record company, who I can't remember who it is, to be honest, but the record company was reluctant, I should say, to get my grammar correct. Reluctant to let them do it. So the album that the Turtles brought out, that's the name of the band, the Turtles Present the Battle of the Bands was an album they brought out, and they demonstrated their versatility musically and recorded lots of different styles and a wide variety of styles like other artists. And they recorded this song, and the song, you can't think of the other song that it might be. You've mentioned the name, although it's spelt differently, as the Beatles song that I forgot earlier on.
Arthur.
Eleanor.
Eleanor.
Oh, that's just reminded me of another one.
Lady Eleanor.
Lady Eleanor. Yeah, you can talk about that in a second then. So they recorded Eleanor as a real parody of Happy Together, because that's all a little silly pop song, basically. The kind of song that record company wanted. So they wrote deliberately cliched, slapdash lyrics, one might even say, like, and here you get a lyric, because you love a lyric, don't you? Your looks intoxicate me, even though your folks hate me. There's no one like you, Eleanor, really. And it goes on. Eleanor G, I think you're swell, and you really do me well.
I know this song.
You're my
I know
pride
it as
and
well.
joy.
It's all coming back to me now.
And that's probably another song, actually. And the best use of the word etc. in a song, at the end of that line, I just said, Eleanor G, I think you're swell, and you really do me well. You're my pride and joy, etc. I think it's a great line. It's Eleanor.
And really romantic and all.
It is, absolutely.
Yeah, tremendous.
And I like Happy Together, but I love Eleanor and the girl's name. And you're right, Lady Eleanor Lindisfarne is other than a good song, but I prefer Eleanor.
Yeah.
I actually prefer Eleanor Rigby, but I didn't have that one, but we've mentioned it a few times now anyway. So that's me done for that one. So we're on to Big G.
Big G, okay, let's see what we got. 1979, let's stay there, shall we? Just for a bit of fun. So this guy wrote Joy to the World, as in Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
Yeah.
His mum wrote Heartbreak Hotel.
Oh.
Okay.
Yes.
And he has written this great little country rock bluesy road trip ballad with his tongue so far in his cheek that I'm surprised he could sing it at all. And I think it's brilliant. I've always liked it. It's I don't know if I can give you. I don't know if I can give you any lyrics without actually giving the song away.
But he wrote Joy to the World.
He did write Joy to the World.
Wrote Heartbreak Hotel.
Co-credited.
I should know that one actually. It's annoying. It was what was her name though? It was Hoyt Axton.
Yep.
Who wrote? So it was somebody Axton, obviously.
Mrs. It was Mrs. Axton.
Mrs. Axton. I knew it. I knew it.
I don't know what her name was. I just know that his mum, because he's dead now. They were both posthumously taken into the Hall of Fame.
All right. Okay.
Doris.
So this is a great line. This is Della and the Dealer. Do you know the song? Della and the Dealer and a dog and a Jake the dog and a cat named Kalamazoo. Do you not know it?
No.
Colin's frozen. Now this could be a disaster because Colin's completely. Oh, he's back.
Oh no, he's back. You froze there, Col.
Is it cold in Chelmsford?
It says on my screen. Can you hear me now?
We can.
Yes.
It came up saying your internet connection is unstable.
Yes, it happens sometimes with Zoom.
It does.
But
you live out in the wilds.
I'm loud and proud now.
Excellent.
But no, I can't think of it. It was a hit, was it?
It was a hit. It was a hit in the States. I don't know if it got in the top 75 here or not. I don't know.
By Hoyt Axton, or it's just something that
under Hoyt Axton? Yeah, it's under Hoyt Axton, 1979. Della and the Dealer. He's called, and a cat named Kalamazoo. And it's about apparently the cat is supposed to be a person, but in actual life, but it's deemed in the song to be an actual cat. And he's so cool because he never says a mumbling word. You've got to play it. It is just brilliant.
And it's called Della the Dealer.
Della and the Dealer.
Della and the Dealer.
There is nothing good about it apart from the fact that it's great. But do you know what I mean? It's one of those songs where you go, it's sort of country and western bluesy, rocky. You stick it in the car and drive for, it's just brilliant. I love it.
Sticky in the car and drivey, basically.
Yeah, it is. It's a country rocky bluesy thing,
I suppose it would. Hoyt Axton, he did love a bit of country blues, didn't he?
He did. He did. But
I think he wrote a couple of songs on
we'll
Ringo's.
get it played at some stage. It's a great little song.
Yeah, I think he wrote a couple of songs on Ringo. You know Ringo, Valerie Starr's husband.
Yes.
His album Goodnight Vienna. Is it the No song? Is that one of his?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
Okay, maybe I'm just making that up.
He wrote for a lot of people, so
Big P.
Okay, so here's a twofer. 1969 album, the debut album of the band in question, and they had two girls' names on two of these songs. Two girls' names in question being Judy and Guinevere.
Are we talking Crosby, Stills and Nash?
We are, yes. Sweet Judy Blue Eyes,
yeah,
and Guinevere.
I have this down for you in case you care.
I would be surprised if you didn't. It was the.
We always care. We always care.
We always care.
But we've talked about this album many, many times. Don't need to talk about it anymore. But it was a very easy pick for me.
Sweet
Judy Blue Eyes is a cut above.
Yeah, it's the best. That and Wooden Ships are the two best tracks of the album. But
and that was on the Crosby, Stills, Nash album that came out
before Neil Young. Yeah, it was
I played a CSN track today. Actually, it was. Yeah, I think I might have played Marrakesh Express at some point.
I was arguing with my accountant, so I missed you.
Oh yeah, how did the fist fight go?
It went marginally better than I'd feared, but that doesn't mean I was happy.
A bit like Spurs last week, then.
Yeah, a bit like Spurs last week, except that they won a cup and I won a bill from the HMRC. But anyway, moving on.
Moving on swiftly, yes, please. Right, this is another song. I wouldn't say it's an absolute classic, but I did say at the start, personal ones I remember at the time. Hello was certainly the first rock album that we bought by Status Quo in '73. But before that, we did have a few albums in the '70s, not that many. Mungo Jerry was up there, and this guy from Ireland, but not where the undertones come from. Stinks.
Oh, do piss.
So that'd be Van Morrison then?
It's not Van Morrison.
Okay.
This guy, this was a song. It was a number one, his first number one single in 1972. Of two, he had another number one the following year. The album that I remember having was called Back to Front. And he was a sort of satirical songwriter as well, actually. Good songwriter.
Wasn't that? Oh, no, hang on. No, forget that. I'm going back to sleep now.
His first album was called Himself, which I think was in either 70 or 71.
Wasn't this Gilbert O'Sullivan?
It was Gilbert O'Sullivan, and that's what I've chosen.
Claire.
The album. And it's Claire, number one. Yeah, it was Uncle Ray. Ray, Ray. What was his name? Ray Sullivan or Ray O'Sullivan? I think it might have been Ray Sullivan, actually. But anyway, Uncle Ray he was. He's only singing to his manager Gordon Mills, 3-year-old. I think it was 3-year-old daughter. Is it? I even know you're only 3. Was that the one? Or am I going to save your kisses for me?
No, you're not. It's what Claire says. You're only 3.
It was 3. What is Save Your Kisses for Me? Was that what? Even though you're only at the end? Didn't they do that?
Yeah, they say something like that at the end.
I can't remember it. It's Eurovision, so there's no point asking Stinks about it. He probably thinks kids anyway.
Yeah.
No.
Follow the man.
Claire, Gilbert O'Sullivan. Yeah, one of the first albums that we had. And I remember it was a good album, actually. Good album.
I did not know he was Irish.
He is Irish.
Name like O'Sullivan.
A name like O'Sullivan, yeah.
Well, I guess that's perfectly logical, but I didn't know. Ray O'Sullivan's not Irish.
Okay.
Is it my turn?
Did you know that Fergal Sharkey was Irish.
I did.
No, I would never have spotted that because Fergal is such a non-Irish name.
Yeah, it is. I almost did a Southern Irish accent. He's from Northern Ireland, as you may know. You may know now. Right? Yeah. Sorry.
This guy definitely isn't Irish.
Okay.
But I have seen him live more than anyone else.
Oh,
so Pete should get this relatively easily.
You must know this one.
1978. It's an album track. It's a folk ballad about a May Queen.
I know it. No, 78. You say?
78. It's a folk ballad about a May Day Queen.
I've got a folk ballad in my list, but I thought it was 76. Yeah, I'm sure it was.
The album
is
called Deep and Meaningless.
British?
Oh, very.
Very British.
But British, steeped in British folk music.
Deep and Meaningless.
He's more famous. I mean, the album officially is him and his mate. He's more famous for doing pseudo-punk stuff, but actually his folk stuff is way, way better. He has a very trembly voice and a soft R. So there's an innocence when he does the softer stuff. There's like an innocence and a scaredness about the voice, which you don't get when he does the punkier stuff.
A folk punk, basically.
Yeah, that's what he would have described himself.
I'm sitting there with a very big blank look on my face because I'm stunned that I don't know who's the person you've seen live the most, because I thought it was someone that you'd seen most with me. So I'm now totally confused.
Okay, I think I've seen him with you at least twice.
Not Tom Robinson, is it?
No.
The
song's called Josephine, which, just in case you care, is the name of both my mother-in-laws, which is a bit scary. What's even scarier is that both my father-in-laws were called James.
I thought you were going to say they were both called Josephine as well.
That would have been more fun.
That would be strange.
And he's more used to being known with his guitar partner, Wild Willie Barrett.
Oh, bloody hell, yeah, John Otway.
John Otway.
Right.
John Otway, Josephine.
Yes, I hadn't even crossed my mind. Yeah, we have seen John Otway a lot of times. And yes, you're right. We have seen him together a few times. When you said Josephine, I was thinking Chris Rea, because there's a track off On the Beach. No, not On the Beach. What is it called? The one with Stainsby Girls, isn't it?
Shamrock Diaries. Shamrock Diaries, is that
Shamrock Diaries? Yeah. There's a track on Shamrock Diaries called Josephine as well.
That sounds Irish as well, doesn't it? But he's not Irish.
It does.
No, he's a Geordie.
He's
along with George.
That's a good call, Jeff. And you're right, John Otway. He does have a weird voice, and when he's not doing the punky stuff, it is a very, very different sound. That is a very good shout. Love it.
Poor baby, that's really free, wasn't that then?
Poor baby, that's really free. And beware of the flowers, because I'm sure they're going to get you. Yeah.
Yeah, and Baby's in the Club.
Baby's in the Club,
which was my favourite one.
But his biggest hit, I think, was his version of Delilah.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was.
And he also did a thing called "I'm Your Bunsen Burner," and "You're My." It's like some of the stuff he's done is just so outrageous. It's
no really drugs involved at all in any of that. No drugs, nowhere near any of that.
But his folk ballads, really, all of them are just.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, no, that's a really, really good shout.
He did one called Geneve, which is lovely. Place Farm Way is a fantastic song.
Yeah, no, good shout.
According to this Guinness Book of Hits Records or whatever it is, Guinness Book of Hit Singles, he had 3 hits. The first 2 I've got with Wild Willie Barrett. First one was Really Free. It's the one we mentioned. Second one was called DK 5080. Does that ring a bell to you?
No.
got to number 45, and then the biggest hit in December 2002, number 9, was the aforementioned Chemistry set
Yes.
device.
I'm your Bunsen burner. You're my.
Yeah.
Which is done to the tune of Disco Inferno.
Oh right, okay. Ding 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 ding.
We saw him live up at Hull, didn't we? A couple of times. But
I saw him at Barking Town Hall once.
I was going to say, yeah, Barking Town Hall. Was that the one where he climbed up the lighting?
No, that was at Reading.
Was that at Reading? I mean, why that man didn't die is beyond us.
Well, he still hasn't. So
no, he's still around. Oh. Bless him. Good lad.
Right, have you got a 3-fer or a 4-fer or a 5-fer?
I've got a couple more. I've got a couple more bands, stroke artists with doubles, and then I'm going to glue some together for fun. So yeah, we're good. Okay, so this is a solo artist who used to be in a band and had absolutely massive, monumental success as a solo artist. 2 girls' songs, one from a 1983 album, one from a 1987 album. The one from the 1987 album, in my opinion, is the best thing he ever did. I'm happy to be argued with, but I'm right.
Who are we to argue with you? Who are we to argue?
We are no one.
We are no one. We are not worthy. We are not worthy of opposing.
We are dancer, not human.
He is no longer with us.
So he's dead then?
Ile Moore.
He is.
Ile Don
singer. No more. Yeah, he is a singer. Deceased.
A deceased singer of massive global superstar success.
Right, I've got you.
Who is it?
It is 1, Michael Jackson, 2, Dirty Diana.
Yep. Dirty Diana and Off Bad, 1987. And, of course, the Moonwalk song, Billie Jean, off Thriller, in 1983. And I would argue that they're his 2 best songs, but Dirty Diana is absolutely brilliant. It's a proper rocker.
Didn't you play that today, Carl?
I did.
Well, there we go. I won't choose it.
I can't remember whether I got it lined up for tomorrow or I played it today. I think I
you played it today. Yeah, I don't like Bad as an album at all. So
no, it was a good album.
Bad is brilliant. I absolutely love it. I own that album.
I'm an off the wall man personally.
I paid money to buy Bad. It's a brilliant album.
Yeah, sorry.
You said I've heard this. What?
Yeah, when you said I'm an off the wall man, I said yeah. So we heard. But Bad, I agree, was a good album. I think I would probably prefer it to Off the Wall. But in terms of songs, I know what you mean about Dirty Diana. I love sometimes the quiet ones. I don't know what you heard today, Jeff. I played the vocal track only of One Day in Your Life. Not One Day in Your Life. He's Out of My Life.
Yeah.
I mean, it was superb. You're almost in tears at the end of that for Michael.
Great voice. Absolutely fantastic voice. And a real superstar. You know, like Elvis, sadly let down by the people around him. But
allegedly murdered by them, actually. But
yes. But two great albums. Yeah, Thriller and Bad. I mean, just legendary. And 2 great girl songs. So there we go. That's me.
Dirty Diana. What are we next? Okay, I'm going back now. I'm going back to the 50s. And I've just chosen this because I think of it probably its historical importance with this particular artist. If you call Elvis the king of rock and roll, which people do, I'm not sure whether he is the king of rock and roll. I think this guy is. Because
Buddy Holly.
No. He's obviously up there, Buddy Holly. But, I mean, he didn't produce, sadly.
Chuck Berry.
It's Chuck Berry. And what I've gone for, I mean, I could have had a number of songs for him. What I've chosen is his very first recording hit single,
Maybelline.
which was Maybelline.
Good song.
Recorded in 1955. It was adapted from the Western swing tune, or the fiddle tune, Ida Red. Basically about a hot rod chase and a broken romance. The man driving a V8 Ford and chasing the unfaithful girlfriend Maybelline in a Cadillac Coupe de Ville. And it's a pioneering rock and roll song, I think. Rolling Stone said, rock and roll starts here.
Really?
Other opinions, welcome.
It's reasonable. I think Chuck Berry's interesting because he basically wrote the same song for his entire career and just managed to make it sound different enough to get away with it.
Lyrics were great, weren't they?
So when he played live, he used to get a local band. He toured generally speaking, early days particularly, he started on his own.
Yeah.
And he would just get the house band. And when he would walk on the stage, he'd go, Chuck in D or Chuck in A. Yeah. And that's all he'd tell them. And they basically played exactly the same thing behind while he did whatever it was he did in front.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was very awkward to work. Very awkward to work with, apparently.
Very, very difficult, yeah. Refused point blank to do an encore once because he wasn't getting paid for it.
Right.
I'd
heard that bands, quite well-known guitarists, that they were performing with him, and he never told them the key that he was going to do the songs in. Well, so they just had to just play along with whatever he did.
Work it out.
And he gets annoyed when they get it wrong, probably.
If you listen to T-Bone Walker, you will hear Chuck Berry's influence, because the Chuck Berry riff that we all know is actually T-Bone Walker's riff, which he was quite open. Chuck Berry was quite open about. That's where he got it from. But you hear it in a very different style.
I think you're wrong. I think it originated with Marty McFly.
Really?
Yes. In Back to the Future.
You could be right.
Played Johnny B. Good back in 1955.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And he phoned his cousin. They found one of the band members phoned Chuck and said, "Look, I've got this great. You're after a great new sound. Listen to this. Great stuff." What a film that was. Let's not get on to that because Stinks might have to watch it. Like you're doing the West Wing. But we didn't steer you wrong, did we, with the West Wing?
No, it's fantastic. I am very pleased that you put me in touch with it, both of you.
Good. Maybelline I chose. I could have had Carol.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to choose.
Which was done by the Stones as well, and the South London's Finest. Quo did it on their 1981 album, Never Too Late. And I'm sure there are millions of other ones. I'm trying to think. Tulane? I suppose that could be one. You mentioned, I know what I was going to say. You mentioned My Ding-a-Ling. He didn't actually write that song. Amazingly.
If he had, he wouldn't have admitted it.
No, well, it was Dave Bartholomew that wrote that one, who wrote a lot of songs for Fats Domino, I believe.
Did he have anything to do with Jimmy Savile? Oh, sorry, moving on.
No, we're not talking about him. So I've gone for Maybelline because it started it all off.
Excellent.
Big G.
What have you got, baby bro?
What I've got is 1971.
Stinks era.
I believe that this man should be up there in the same list as James Taylor and Bob Dylan and all those troubadours that we spoke about a couple of weeks ago, because I think he's good enough and I think he should be there. This is my favourite of his songs. Canadian, died a couple of years ago. This is off the album Summer Side of Love.
It's Daylight Katie.
It's not, but it could have been.
It's Gordon Lightfoot anyway.
It is Gordon Lightfoot.
I had Daylight Katie written down.
It could have been Daylight Katie, which is a great song, but I prefer this one.
That was later, wasn't it? That was like 78 time, I think, or 77, I think. I think that's on an endless.
This one the reason I like this particularly is because it mimics the sound of wheels going around as it plays through. The way that he plays the guitar and the thing he's done is the whole thing just mimics the sound of a wheel spinning round and round and round.
I can't think of anything from 71. I can think of something from 71, but it's not got a girl's name.
But not this.
No, I'm thinking of the record of Edmund Fitzgerald, but that wasn't a girl's name.
I think it's on the same album, is it not?
I don't know. You tell me.
I'm not certain either. This is Cotton Jenny.
Cotton Jenny, okay. Poor Jenny. Everly Brothers could have had that one in.
Pick a Jenny, any Jenny.
Pick a Jenny.
It's about the wheels of love going round with this girl who lives in an old mill, which is obviously the wheel going round and round.
Yeah.
But
he was a great songwriter. He was a great songwriter.
Fantastic songwriter.
Yeah.
Lyrics are good, and he wrote about all sorts of different stuff. Not So I think he's I know that he's very popular, but I still think he doesn't get the recognition.
He's underappreciated.
He deserves.
No, he doesn't. He didn't, I should say.
There's a few people like that. I think different genre, but I always think Roy Buchanan doesn't get the credence that he should get as a blues guitarist. He's kind of like the forgotten blues guitarist, and yet he's absolutely brilliant. And I think Gordon Lightfoot is not the same. He's not the same kind of music, but Gordon Lightfoot is he's there, but everyone doesn't kind of concentrate on him, and I think that's unfair because he's a really good songwriter.
Yeah, he is a good songwriter. I loved in '74. It would have been Sundown when that came out. That was the one that I really loved, and I was getting ridiculed at school listening to Gordon Lightfoot and saying, "What are you listening to Val Doonican for?" Which I thought was a tad harsh.
Because it's good is the answer.
It's a great song. Sundown. Great song. Okay, Cotton Jenny, good one. Gordon Lightfoot, Stinks.
Right, well, I'm gonna because we can do what we like because it's our podcast. I'm having a bit of a two for cheat. It's not the same band, different people, but Jeff has already had reference to his ex-wife and has mentioned his current wife. So I'm now going to do your wife and my wife. So, Thin Lizzy, 1979, Sarah, off the Black Rose album. Great song. Not a massive Thin Lizzy fan, but this is one of my favourite ones. And 2011, the album Dust Bowl, Joe Bonamassa, the song Sweet Rowena.
Oh, really?
Good Lord.
Yes.
Don't I own that?
You what?
Don't I own Dust Bowl? I don't remember that.
I don't know if you own Dust Bowl.
Simon's not listening anymore. Maybe I skip it.
I have no idea, but it's a beautiful song. I mean, you and I both know. I mean, Joe Bonamassa hasn't done very much bad stuff. Even his bad stuff is better than most people's good stuff. But no, it's a really nice song. It is a nice song. I played it the other day just to check that it was a nice song before I mentioned it. But it is a nice song. So it falls into that. It falls into that category of girls in our lives. So there we go.
I'll see what you did there. Yeah, excellent.
Thin Lizzy, Sarah, and Joe Bonamassa, Sweet Rowena.
See, I must admit, because Sarah said to me when I told her what we're doing this week, when she asked me what we're doing this week, and I told her, she said, "Well, I hope we got Sarah in there."
Yeah, a smile. All the notes.
It's there. It's written down, Sarah. But because I prefer that. She also mentioned Sarah Smile, Hall and Oates.
Oh, no, yeah.
That's the one you just, yeah. But I think of the two of those, I'd definitely prefer Thin Lizzy to Hall and Oates. I've also got a Sarah Smile by the superbly named Bram Tchaikovsky.
Yes.
Yes.
You remember Bram Tchaikovsky?
Yeah.
He was he the bass player or the guitarist in the Motors? I can't remember. One of the two. But anyway, yep. It's not his real name.
Really?
No one can be called Bram.
Except Stoker.
Well, true. Okay, fair enough. Other
anyway,
opinions.
short for Abraham.
Fair enough. Yep. You've got an answer for everything, haven't you?
You're on fire tonight, Pete. Absolutely on fire.
Right, okay. I'm going to go in for... This song also has a boy's name in it, but it does have a girl's name in it, and that counts. And not only that, but the guy who wrote the song and plays the guitar on the song and sings the song in... you know it.
I think so. Jack and Diane.
No, it's not Jack and Diane, but damn, I could have had Jack and Diane.
I've got Jack and Diane on my I can't believe I forgot that list, which I wrote this morning.
Yes, I can't believe it.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
This guy was Stinky Pete's temporary English teacher at school.
Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet. Yeah, Mr. Knopfler.
Yeah.
What a song that
great song. Beautiful song.
It is.
It is.
And Roy Bittan, is it, from the Bruce Springsteen E Street Band? Played the piano on it, and he stole it from his own lick on Bruce Springsteen's song Jungle Land, which is on the Born to Run album. If you didn't know that, you do now. And apparently the song was about a failed romance between Mark Knopfler and his then girlfriend Holly Vincent. A Romeo who's I'm just trying to read my writing here. So basically, he was still in love. Mark Knopfler was still in love with her, but she then treated him like just another one of her deals, like from the lyric. And Knopfler felt that she was using him to boost her career, basically. And the line, I used to have a scene with him, was inspired by Holly Vincent's interview that Knopfler saw, in which she claimed what happened was that I had a scene with Mark Knopfler, and it got to the point where he just couldn't handle it, and we split up. So that's where the line came from. But it's a wonderful song, Romeo and Juliet, and a nice couple of finger clicking in there as well, isn't there? I think.
Yes, that's excellent.
It's one of their best, I think.
I think so. I think their best album. I know that Stinks is going to say other opinions welcome, but wrong.
No. I don't think there's anything to choose. But I've got both that and Brothers in Arms. I love both of them. So for me, there's nothing to choose between them.
Okay, no, as I said, I don't think there's a duff track on Making Movies. There's a couple on Mothers and Arms, which I wouldn't like as much, to be honest. But we're not talking about them. We're talking about Jeff and his next pick.
I'm in trouble for this.
Oh.
My wife says I can't have this because it's not right. And she's got a point, which she often has, but I'm going to go with it and see if I can get away with it.
You're in big shit with this.
I am in big shit. 1978, breakthrough UK single, reached number 2. Retro punk at its best, in my opinion. Sounds like a 50s hit because it was originally. But apparently it's a boy's name. But I think it's a girl.
Oh, I know. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, but the original song
was by Randy and the Rainbows.
Randy and the Rainbows was called Denise.
It was.
And the version you're talking about is Denise by Blondie.
It is.
And your good lady wife is, of course, correct.
She's always correct. That goes without saying.
In this song, it is a boy's name, to be fair. I wrote that one down as well. I thought, no, I'm not gonna do it.
Well,
but you mentioned it. It's a great song, and we can do what we want. We can put a boy's name in if we want.
Well, nowadays, about anything is anything. I still think Denise is a girl's name. It would be in English. The fact that it's in French is by the by.
True, like Dennis.
Like Dennis, yeah. She sings one. Apparently, she sung one of the things in French. One of the
one of the lines
in French.
Yeah, she does.
Just to prove that it was a different song. That it was in a different gender. Really? I don't get that. But there we go.
Strange.
No, I think it's worthy of a. It's worthy of a.
It's worthy of a mention, definitely. Yeah. Even though technically, well, you could say Denise by Randy and the Rainbows if you really
could, yeah.
And then
Except
there's no doubt about that.
Blondie's
But
version is just
she
superb.
didn't want to sing about a girl called Denise, so she sang about a boy called Denis.
Denis.
And sometimes they don't change the lyrics, even though it was sung by a girl. I mean, I'm trying to think of an example of it now. Oh, I know one. Obviously, Beatles on the Please Please Me album. The Shirelles had a song called Boys, which was chosen as the Ringo song. He did it live, and they kept the lyrics exactly the same. Oh, it's all about boys, yeah. Which it really should have been about girls, but they didn't change it.
Really
enough. Yeah.
Anyway, there we go. I know I got away with it, or I didn't, but you know,
it's our podcast. You can do what you like.
Yeah, you can do what you want, mate.
Well, that's very kind of you. What you got, Pete?
All right, I've got two here, but again, I'm linking two just because they're the same genre. So one of them you played fairly recently on your show, Colin. And this girl's name is very, very, very Irish. The second one is very good. The second one,
it's exactly the same, but I can't spell it, so I don't ever say it.
Siobhan.
Siobhan.
Siobhan, yeah. The other one, and see if you can get it from. Well, yes, it's a bit of fun. Second one is a instrumental recorded in 2015. In 2015 by one of my favorite bands. It is about the girl who is on the front cover of the 1985 National Geographic magazine. And she is called the Afghan Girl, but it's the girl with those incredible blue eyes. It's one of the most famous photographs ever in all of history. And it was just taken by a photographer who was, in the war in Afghanistan. And she was subsequently discovered much, much later, like 20 years later or 30 years later, by someone else. And she became famous, and her name is now the name of the song. So the first of them you played the other week, which is Sinead by Within Temptation from the Unforgiving album, 2011. You played that when I had my Dutch day.
Right.
And then the other one is a Nightwish song from the Endless Forms Most Beautiful album in 2015. And the song is called The Eyes of Sharbat Gula, and the girl's name was Gula. So that's one from left field, which you were not expecting. But I've lumped the two together because they're both symphonic rocks.
I would maybe expect a song by Nightwish or Within Temptation, but I would never in a million years know what the song was going to be.
But I really like the story. I absolutely love that picture. It's as iconic as the little girl running down the street in the napalm attack in Vietnam. Those absolutely iconic news photographs, and this one is one of them. Her eyes are absolutely haunting.
That's the photo I was thinking about, I think.
Yeah, if you look it up on Google, it's everywhere. But it's just the picture is called The Afghan Girl. But it's absolutely iconic picture, and it's just a nice instrumental piece, which that's what it's titled.
All right. Okay, then. Okie dokie. Right. We're running a little bit out of time actually, because still got quite a few to go. It's already 11:30. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to give you, because I think we've still probably got about 2 or 3 each left, haven't we? If we go for 10, I mean,
I've got loads, but I've
got millions more, but we can stop whenever. I'm just going to quickly just run off some song titles that I could chat about quite readily. Firstly, Maggie May.
Yeah, that's on my list.
Yeah, great stuff. His first #1 as a solo artist. And Yeah, when he was a rock singer, really.
Yes, before he discovered the American Songbook.
Yeah, probably that's it. Yeah, when his songs are more sentimental and real rather than slushy and cheap, thrilly and smutty. That's Maggie May from '71.
Which was about his first sexual encounter at the 1961 Bowley Jazz Festival. In case you're interested.
Oh, right. Okay. So Maggie May indeed.
Well, that should be called Maggie did, not Maggie May.
That was the kind of point. Maggie very did. Definitely did.
Right. Another quick one here then. Another one of my heroes is Roy Wood, as you well know. A great songwriter. This isn't one of the greatest songs of all time, but it's still got a great memory for me because his first solo hit and a load of stuff with the Move, load of stuff with the LO. Well, not that many loads, but and obviously a load of number ones with Wizard. Solo hit from Boulders, his first solo album, and this single, like the rest of the album, all instruments were him, plus the lead and multi-track backing vocals were him. He even drew the sleeve of the album as well. Sort of a semi-classical, experimental pop song ballad. Kind of reminiscent. You'll probably hesitate when I say this. Well, I should be the one hesitating. You're the one that will go, huh? Almost reminiscent of the maybe Pink Floyd-y, Queenie sort of style. It's a slow tempo with one of him singing an acoustic guitar, French horns, and a bass. Everything was on there. Sporadic use of Roy Wood and his multi-tracked choir of just him. Probably a bit too languid for general, real popular consumption, but it did make the top 20. And I think it's a great song. You can't think of what it's called, I'm sure. It's Dear Elaine. Don't remember it. Okay, good. Got you there. Shall I do one more quickly before you hand over?
I thought that you were going to talk about his song about the famous South Korean guy.
Oh, there's a joke coming. Stand by your beds.
Famous South Korean who was involved in a major catastrophe. The song was the Ball Park incident.
Oh, very good. Yes. Not very girls' name-ish though, really.
No, but
it's amusing. It's amusing.
It was worth it.
Another quick mention. Yeah, it's Dear Elaine. I've gone for a Macca tune from Wings, actually. Helen Wheels. And the US was on their Band on the Run album, but it was just a single over here, named after his Jeep or Land Rover. I think it was Hell on Wheels was the name of that. And what else is there? Can we mention Layla? Has anyone mentioned Layla?
That was another one on my list.
I've got it as a shout out.
Yeah, I've got it as a shout out.
Give us some shout outs, so we can run them out. So Jazz, what you got?
I've got three more. The ones that I've got, I can run through really quickly.
Yeah, go on.
1965. This version. The original was a couple of years, 61, I think. Instrumental. Every guitarist in the world has tried to play it. Some people have done it really well, and this guy's done it superbly. So this is Bert Jansch, and it's Angie.
Angie.
Which is also, Paul Simon did it on Sound of Silence, I think.
That's just ANJI, is it?
ANJI, yeah.
It's just ANJI.
Not the Rolling Stones one.
No, which I would have one.
No, not that one.
I haven't even put Angie on the list here for my 10.
I've got
one of my favourites.
I've got it on my list for you, Carl.
Yeah, I know.
I've got it on my Rolling Stones shout-outs list.
The difference between Bert Jansch and all the others is that Bert Jansch uses his flamenco strum occasionally, which is just brilliant. It's a great song. Like everyone who's picked an acoustic guitar up at some stage in the last 50 years has tried to play it. I guarantee it. Honey Bus, I Can't Let Maggie Go.
Oh,
great song. Great song.
I didn't even think about that one.
Unless I'm mistaken, the bass stuff on it is played by a bassoon. Now, I could be wrong about that, but I don't think I am. I was listening to it earlier thinking, it's called Baroque Pop. Why is it called Baroque Pop? I don't know that.
I don't know.
Haven't we had this conversation before? that when no, I think Colin and I have ages ago, where for some reason, if you look on Wiki and things like that, they have this weird array of categories of like prog punk. And you just go, no, don't be ridiculous.
I don't know what it did. Is this a Russ Ballard moment? I think it was, wasn't it?
I think it might.
One of your Russ Ballard moments.
Not sure, to be honest.
Okay, not mine.
No, I mean it's top 10. I think it got number 8, didn't it? In 60, should have been a big hit.
It
should have been
everywhere.
It made the Nimble advert though, didn't it?
It was the Nimble. It flew like a bird in the sky because that's what Nimble bread does for you.
Yes.
All Nimble bread did was make you eat more of it. And the last one I've got as one of my 10 is 1980, number 8, UK anti-war song. Synth electro pop at its best, in my opinion. You can do this.
Depeche Mode, OMD.
Yeah, go on, stay there.
Is it one of those?
Yeah.
OMD.
OMD.
Anti-war song. OMD.
Oh, Enola Gay.
There we go. Enola Gay.
Good one. That's got 2 girls' names.
It has, although Gay
has,
an E on it.
I hadn't really thought about Gay, but yeah.
Gay has an E on it, doesn't it? On the girls'
yeah, properly, yeah.
Does it matter?
Clifford T. Ward had a song called Gay as well. Do you remember that?
No. I remember Clifford the Big Red Dog.
No, it's not him.
The Village People did a lot of songs about
very long blonde hair he had.
Yeah, I do remember him.
Yes, incredibly long blonde hair. Yeah,
it was.
So that's all my 10. I've got a whole bunch of other ones which we can shout out whenever you like.
Right, Pete, quick shout
out. Well, I'm going to do 3 which have got little stories behind them. Just reasons behind the song. So the first of them, we'll see if you get this one. It is 1976. The song was specifically written for the audition of the lead singer of the band. And this was because the song that she wanted to sing as the audition, they couldn't play. So they wrote a song specifically for her audition. And the name of the lead singer is the same as the name of the song, although spelt differently.
This rings a bell, actually. I think. Have we mentioned this before?
Yes. And
no,
it's not
yet. Not yes. No.
Just thought I'd get that in quickly.
Okay. No, I mean, no.
It is The Runaways, Cherry Bomb.
Cherry Bomb, yeah. Cherry Curry.
Which was written for Cherry Curry's audition, apparently. A song, you'll get this very easily, a David Paish song written about Rosanna Arquette.
Oh, is that one?
Rosanna then?
Arquette.
Yes, that would be it. So Rosanna Toto.
I mentioned that earlier, didn't I? I thought
Toto 4.
Okay, yep.
And then the final one, see if you get this one. This is a song from 1975 written about a Welsh goddess, which is somewhat off-putting because I thought the name was Irish. But anyway.
What year?
1975.
75. Written about a Welsh goddess.
Yep.
I think of girls' names in 75. I think of Angie Baby, maybe. That's not a Welsh goddess, is it?
No.
Welsh goddesses.
The band in question had 2 careers, very distinctly 2 careers. And the second career is obviously the one here. And the band had 2 people in it by the same name because they was related.
Was it? No, it wasn't. It's not Roxy Music, is it?
No. Who's related in Roxy Music?
I've no idea. I was trying to think of like bands that had different careers. They changed completely.
Well,
didn't they?
since we need to finish at some point in the next 45 minutes, Fleetwood Mac
and Rhiannon,
yeah, which I thought was an Irish name, but apparently it's the name of Welsh goddess.
Oh, really? Okay.
Apparently so.
All right. Well, that's it for all the main ones then. I mean, there's just millions we could mention.
There's hundreds.
There are millions.
Maggie's Farm.
Obviously, we're talking
Yeah,
about
Maggie's Farm, I had.
Maggie's Farm. You're talking about Sylvia. I got Sylvia's mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Hook and the Medicine Shop.
I'm Mandy, Flimey, and Donna.
Oh, I'm Mandy, Flimey. Oh,
Ruby,
you just can't remember them all, can you?
Ruby Love.
Proud
Ruby
Mary.
Love. Yeah, Proud Mary. Oh, Arms of Mary, Southern Brothers and Quiver.
Oh, that's the one I thought that was going to be when he said a folk singer, Jeff.
Well,
folk ballad.
That was one of the first ones I remembered.
If I'd picked my top 10, it would have been in there.
Yeah.
Peggy Sue, Kathy's Clown,
Sweet Lorraine, Uriah Heep, Ruby Love,
Juniper,
Cat Stevens,
Long
Emily
Sally,
Play, Pink Floyd.
I can't write all these down. Jolene,
yeah.
Rose
what about Kaylee?
Steely Dan.
Kaylee, Marillion, Kaylee.
Yeah,
Kaylee, nice one. Yes, very good.
Rio, does that count?
What about Ruby Tuesday and Angie by the Stones?
Maybe not.
Yeah, her name was Rio.
I don't know about Rio. Rio is
her name was Rio, and she.
No, I suppose
her name was Rio.
Dances on the Sand. Yeah,
she dances on the sand. Yeah,
I suppose so.
Oh, I got another one for you. Eloise.
Yeah, Eloise.
Great song.
What about the Damned? I like them.
Help Me Rhonda, Barbara Ann.
Oh yeah, the Beach Boys had a few, didn't they? But Stinks won't like the Beach Boys.
No, they're all right. Jodie Girl, Bob Seger.
There's hundreds.
Oh my word! No, we have to. We can't go on and on. I said Maggie May, didn't I?
Yeah.
You did. As you said that Maggie did.
Well, Daylight Katie.
Because Maggie did. Oh, I've got another very easy one. Whole Lot of Rosie, AC/DC.
Yeah, I had a whole lot of Rosie. I've also got a Rosie. Again, just from memory, that I think it's like a little guy, one-man band guy.
One-man band. Yeah. What was his name?
No, not yeah. No, it was a guy called Don Partridge.
That's
right.
Rosie.
Yeah.
He used to. Yeah, he was the king of the buskers. I think he was.
Yeah, it was.
And I'd never seen anything like that before, and I was amazed by it. Daylight Katie, I half mentioned earlier on. Come on, Eileen, possibly. Oh, one obvious one I've written loads on. I'm not going to go too much into it. Finally, I'm just going to say it. I'm going for Veronica by Elvis Costello.
Yeah, Elvis Costello.
Co-written by Paul McCartney. It's a song close to my heart and to yours as well with your concert recently.
Yeah, Singing for the Brain. Yeah.
With Alzheimer's and dementia, about an older woman who's experienced severe memory loss. Inspired by Elvis Costello's gran, apparently, who suffered from Alzheimer's. And she had, as the lyrics will say, well, no, they weren't in the lyrics, actually, terrifying moments of lucidity, and how this was the inspiration. And I'm going to finish with a lyric because I like it. And this is from Veronica. Is it all in that pretty little head of yours? What goes on in that place in the dark? Well, I used to know a girl, and I would have shown that her name was Veronica. Well, she used to have a carefree mind of her own and a delicate look in her eye. These days, I'm afraid she's not even sure if her name is Veronica. And that was Elvis Costello. And I should have said that one earlier, actually. But yeah, oh God, we could go on forever. And some of these will be played, no doubt, tomorrow and Friday or whatever on the radio show, which I'll be on tomorrow at 8 a.m. as usual on CBW Radio. Don't forget. And that's the end of this week. It will go to the usual places. Spotify being the main one, I think, that people use, by Shaggy over the next day or so, or over the weekend when he can do it. And of course, one day we will be on
the BBC.
Though we don't really want to be, because they ban things.
We like to mention Coca-Cola.
We like to mention. I do, certainly. This is a real bugbear with me. You can't get proper full-fat Coke these days in most places. You can't get it at Spurs ground. Can't get it at, I don't know.
Tank proper.
I don't drink fizzy drinks, so I wouldn't know.
No, I love it. So, right. So, yeah, all I got left. Thank you, Pete. Thank you, Jeff, as usual.
My pleasure.
And all I got left to say is good night from me.
Good night from him.
Good night from both of them.
Not off.